Right, so welcome back to another video on this channel. Welcome back to another post-match reaction for a Chelsea fixture in the Premier League. Chelsea 2, Newcastle 0 to move us into the top 4. If we go and look at the table, we do of course leapfrog Liverpool into the 4th place position in the Premier League, and West Ham as well, who did win of course earlier on in that 3-0 win over Sheffield United. So yeah, very positive result overall, and yeah, again, once again, of two halves, because I think especially in the first half I thought we controlled the game, we were dominant, and yeah, of course we took our chances. 2 goals in the first half in our favour, and the second half when Newcastle kind of came out of the shells a little bit and kind of tried to press us a little bit more and actually went for it a bit more in fairness to them, and I think that Chelsea couldn't really deal with that too well like they did in the first half. But yeah, all just positives at this moment in time, no negatives whatsoever, because of course we are now back into the top 4 of the Premier League, claimed 3 points against Newcastle, who in the second half actually did give us a bit of a challenge, and that is now 5 wins in a row in all competitions, 4 of those coming in the Premier League for Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea. We're actually yet to concede a goal from an opposing player as well, because of course the only goal we did concede was against Sheffield United by Antonio Rudiger, who did score that calamitous own goal. So yeah, all positives at this moment in time. And yeah, of course the game overshadowed in the lineups with the introduction of Kepa Arrizabalaga back into the Chelsea starting lineup for a Premier League game. Now, you know, he did okay against Barnsley in midweek, but yeah, I don't think anybody was expecting that he would take place in this Chelsea starting 11 over Edouard Mendy, who hasn't really put a foot wrong in quite some time now, Mendy, so it was kind of unfair on him. But I think Kepa came into the team, you know, did what was asked of him. There was a few challenges he had to face, and I think he was overall equal to those challenges, and yeah, his distribution I thought was absolutely brilliant today, and yeah, really did not put a foot wrong today, Kepa. So yeah, I definitely do expect him now to be starting against Southampton next weekend, and hopefully continue this good run of form, and hopefully get his confidence back to where it was in the 2018-19 season under Maurizio Sarri when he was so good. But yeah, of course, the main talking point from the match, Timo Werner finally getting himself back on a Premier League score sheet. His first goal since the 7th of November in that 4-1 win over Sheffield United at Stamford Bridge, and yeah, was a very good performance from Timo Werner. He looked very lively, he looked electric, he looked sharp, he looked really angry, and there was an instant in the first half when I think it was Jamal Lewis kind of, you know, scraped him on the lip, and Timo Werner did draw blood from the lip, and since then he just looked really pissed off, and he came straight back into the pitch after, you know, getting it wiped down in his lip, and that literally takes on 3 Newcastle players, gets by them all, puts it across the box, and Darlow of course spills it for Giroud to bang it into an empty net. And yeah, it just did look like after that moment Werner really meant business and really thought, you know what, I'm going to take this game by the scruff of the neck, and my god did he do so. And yeah, of course Werner then did get himself a goal about 10 or so minutes later, and yeah, really poor defending from Newcastle from the corner, I do have to say, because they left a lot of space in the penalty area for Giroud to, I think it was Giroud nodded it on, and yeah, Werner of course, his shot just about crosses the line, and yeah, does get his first goal in something like 14 matches or something like that. But to be honest, I don't really think that tells the whole story, because especially in recent games since Thomas Tuchel has taken over as Chelsea manager, I think Werner's actually looked very good. You can't fault his work levels whatsoever. His work rate I think is absolutely top class. He gives absolutely everything every time he plays on the pitch, and he does cause, you know, havoc for opposition defences, and I think he has been quite unlucky in recent games not to end that goal drought that has, you know, gone back to November, but he finally did that tonight, which is just absolutely incredible. And you can see the relief on his face when, you know, it went to VAR, they were checking for a potential Giroud handball or something in the build-up, and once the goal was officially given, you could see the utter delight and utter relief in his face, Werner, and that's really nice to see. And hopefully now he can build on that in terms of goals, and can of course get back on the score sheet once again against the team he scored a brace against earlier on in the season in that 3-3 draw at Stamford Bridge against Southampton at the weekend, and yeah, hopefully now build a bit of a goal scoring run here that can continue long term in the season. And despite Werner's absolutely excellent performance tonight, I want to give the man of the match personally to Mateo Kovacic. I thought he was absolutely sensational. I thought it was his best performance in quite some time in a Chelsea shirt, and that does say something, because most of the time as Mateo Kovacic does feature in a Chelsea game, he's absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I thought his dribbling today was absolutely second to none. I thought, you know, he held onto the ball really well. I don't think he was actually dispossessed once in the entire game when he was dribbling past players, which says a lot, because he does like to dribble past players quite a bit. I think he's an absolutely incredible player in terms of, you know, breaking the lines in midfield, you know, transition from defence to attack, as I usually say on this channel. He's so quick and so energetic in terms of dribbling past players. He's so hard to tackle, it's like the ball just sticks to his feet. And yeah, overall another absolutely majestic, elegant performance from Mateo Kovacic in that midfield, alongside Jorginho, who I thought was very good once again. I thought the two of them, as per usual under Thomas Tuchel, controlled the midfield battle and controlled the entire game in itself. And yeah, Mateo Kovacic, in my opinion, my man of the match. Despite Werner's incredible performance, as I said, I thought Kovacic was just absolutely different class tonight, if I'm honest. I thought Mason Mount was very good as well, as he usually is in that Chelsea team. Hudson-Odoi causing a lot of problems down that right hand side for Jamal Lewis, and I think the one thing with Hudson-Odoi I want to see him do more, just have a shot, son. Just do. I mean, he gets into so many good positions to have a shot, and he's always trying to be unselfish and play it across the box or cut it back or whatever. I'd like to see him have a shot, because his finishing isn't actually too bad once he's able to pull it off. So yeah, other than that though, I think it was a really good performance from Hudson-Odoi once again. Alonso on the opposite side, causing problems for whoever, I think it was Kraft that was playing right back for Newcastle. Azpilicueta very strong. I don't think anyone really had a bad game. I think that every player was, fairly decent. Giroud off the bench as well, unfortunately for Tammy Abraham, did come off after like 15-20 minutes, and by the signs of Tammy's facial expressions and his overall aura when he came off the pitch, it doesn't look good for him. It looks like he probably will be missing a bit longer than we all expect at this moment in time, because he just did look distraught, if I'm honest, and hopefully he's not out for too long, because I dread to think that Tammy Abraham would be injured long term, because just contrary to what a lot of Chelsea fans think, I actually do think he's quite a decent player, and I do think he's quite an important player to us in terms of the squad. But as I said, Giroud came off the bench, did really well, of course did get himself his goal, and really good positioning from him, because he easily could have darted to the front post and completely missed out on the goal altogether, but kind of decided to sit deeper and waited for the error to happen from Darlow, and of course a very emphatic finish for Giroud, as he normally likes to do, because nearly every time he does play for Chelsea he does score. So Giroud definitely wants to get another positive from today's game. And to be honest, I do think that we should have scored more, and not only in terms of the fact that we controlled large parts of the game, especially in the first half. I do think we should have had maybe one or two half penalties. I think the one in the first half when that caused Tammy Abraham's injury in the first place, when he runs through own goal from a ball through from Kovacic, a brilliant ball over the top, and Abraham met it, and I think that Lascelles actually does get a lot of contact on Tammy Abraham before he actually gets the ball, so I think that's kind of a half penalty. I can understand why it's not given, but at the same time it probably is a foul if you look at some of the other dross that's been given this season against other teams. And in the second half, I think Werner should have got a penalty as well, because he was going through on goal and Lascelles kind of nudges him in the back, kind of pushes him to the ground, and that's why I think that neither really are stone walled, but they're one of those ones, as they say, it's kind of 50-50, and they could be given or they could not be given, and either way you'd probably agree with the decision, and I think that's probably what happened tonight with those two penalty decisions. Next up for Chelsea, it is Southampton away on Saturday, and of course the form book could not be telling more contraric stories, because Chelsea, of course, 4 wins on the bounce now in the Premier League. Southampton lost the last 6 games in the Premier League, so you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. Southampton 1, Chelsea 0. It's just happening, it just is. I've already accepted it. The first defeat of the Thomas Tuchel era will be coming next weekend against Southampton, because it's just what Chelsea always seem to do. If you're on bad form, we will gift you 3 points. Just be aware of that. But in all seriousness, hopefully we can avoid that happening, and hopefully we can make it 5 from 5 in the Premier League under Thomas Tuchel, and 6 and 6 in all competitions if you include that win over Barnsley in the FA Cup, and Champions League next week I should say, against Atletico Madrid as well, so a lot to look forward to in recent weeks. And so I think that is where we're going to end this video, because just to conclude, I think that Chelsea very dominant in the first half, and in the second half, Newcastle kind of pressed us a bit more, kind of tried to get out of their shells a bit, and actually gave it a go, as I said at the start of this video, and made it difficult for us. I think there's definitely more positives, but there's definitely more to improve on, as there usually is, as we've seen in recent weeks. And Chelsea 2, Newcastle 0. One thing you cannot complain about is the 3 points that gets us back into the top 4 places. So if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like. 20 likes as per usual would be massively appreciated by myself, and also if you can subscribe to the channel, that would be hugely appreciated by myself, because we are now looking to hit 1,500 subscribers as soon as we possibly can. So if you do hit that subscribe button, it will cost you absolutely nothing and would very much make my day, so it's very much a win-win situation. I'll see you guys in my next video. Chelsea leapfrog Liverpool and our London rivals West Ham in the Premier League table to go back into the Champions League places. Timo Werner is well and truly back, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out for him at the weekend and going forward, and see ya.